Hello, everyone. Welcome to the SIG-Network Policy API Sub-Project meeting. Today is the 17th of June, 2025. Let's all follow the Kubernetes Code of Conduct and be kind to each other. We don't have that many items on the agenda, so let's just try to get through some of these items. And meanwhile, if anyone wants to add anything new to the agenda, feel free to do so. The first items from me for the 0.1.7 patch release card. I think we have been waiting to do this. We were waiting for Tim Hawkins basically to take a look at the PR. I guess Dan and Boe succeeded because Tim did leave an LGTM on it. And there were a few comments from Dan and Boe. I think I got around to all of Dan's comments and I opened a new PR here to address comments before cutting the release. And those are really nits. So maybe Dan, you can take a pass at the PR.
So yeah, the problem is that adding the DNS thing to the validation, whatever, if you look at failed the EDE testing, because now it's referencing a field that doesn't exist in the standard YAML.
Oh, I guess I should not have added.
Yeah, so I think we just have to leave that out of the validation for now, because I don't think there's any easy way to have different validation rules for standard and experimental without pointless extra work.
Yeah.
But other than that, it looks fine.
Oh, good. Good you told me. I didn't notice this. Yeah, I was failing. Okay, after the call, I can try to push an update for that. We can get that in. And then there were two suggestions from Boe also on the PR, which I wanted to ask him if he thinks it's important or if we can just maybe get that done in the V1 Alpha 2. One of them was a suggestion to have connection as traffic. And in fact, I was actually wanting to see if he wants to do the changes himself from the wording perspective, but he's not on the call.
Those are just nitpicks to documentation anyway. We don't need to block for that.
Okay. I'm fine with that. So I guess we can agree that once we merge 302, we can cut a release. So this is an official announcement to the community that we would do the 0.1.7 release, and that will be the freeze of V1 Alpha 1. And all the nice changes that Nadia is doing with her NPEP of merging ANP and BNP into a single resource will be done as V1 Alpha 2. So that'll be a new folder going into the repo. So this is just to let the community know that I will be, me and Dan, I'll take help from Dan in cutting the release in the next 2 weeks. So before the next upstream meeting, we should have this completely done. Any questions on any of these? Okay, if not, we move on to the second item that I had, which was Dan had reached out to have a maintainer track, well, to ask for an abstract for a maintainer track talk proposal in KubeCon. So we are planning, given all the nice changes that we are doing in the improvements, we decided that it's good to put ourselves out there and make it more well known that BANP is going away and to also get some feedback. And I think we are actually targeting beta before the US KubeCon and to announce beta. At least that was, I think, the decision we decided. I can't remember anymore. When we spoke in London, I'm pretty sure we wanted to evaluate whether we can do beta or not before the US KubeCon. So that was our deadline. And the CFPs, like, if anybody wants to have edit access, let me know. I can give you that. It's just the maintainer track proposal for Dan to then take and do his magic on the maintainer side to submit it. And yeah, please review this.
Okay, yeah, I will do that this week. So if anybody wants to comment, please comment before that.
Me too. Thank you, Surya, for putting it together.
Yeah, thank you, Dan and Nadia. And Dan, do you know if benefits to the ecosystem is also required for maintainer track proposals? I've never done them before, so I assumed you probably need something or not really.
Did I show you the link for submitting it? No, I'm gonna have to find that again.
Yeah, I don't think I can, but I think you can.
I don't think you can actually submit it, but you would still be able to, or it wouldn't be accepted if you did. No, there is not a benefits to the ecosystem section.
Okay, then actually that's good because I had to just write some stuff here in a very generic way. But and feel free, Nadia, Dan, and anybody else, right, to leave comments, edit this. This is like just based off of what we did before. Okay, awesome. And when was the deadline? You said, Dan? July something, right?
Yeah, July 7th, I think. Where is it? I can't find the deadline, but I think it's July 7th. But anyway, I will submit it, by the, oh yeah, July 7th it is. But I'll probably submit it this week, just to get it done.
Thank you so much. Awesome. Over to any questions on that from anyone? Okay, moving on to Nadia. This is awesome. I think the enhancement is progressing well. So, Nadia.
Yes, I just wanted to give an update that I did add the results of our previous discussion with all the names and kind of finalized version. And then Antonio also kindly reminded me that I actually can add the whole API proposal also there without submitting it as a code. That's going to be the next stage of this NPAP. So I think it's pretty close to being merged. I had to do quite some rewordings about how things work in the comments on that API proposal that I think could be improved, not necessarily in this PR, but still. And I've got one LGTM from Boway already, so if we want to move faster, it could be nice to also get some more reviews and see if we can merge this. And again, if there are any suggestions on how to improve the explanations above all the API fields or anything that I tried to update according to, well, be relevant with the single API, yeah, you can leave them here, or we can do that on the next iteration, whichever you like. We'll still have a chance, so not necessarily doing that now.
Yeah, so are we merging the proposal and implementable states in the enhancement, or sorry, not proposal, provisional? It still stays provisional. It's just that you also add the API change itself. Did you mention that?
No, the provisional means I'm only editing the NPAP file, but in the NPAP file, there is an API section, and that's where I added what I basically will do on the next NPAP iteration to the actual API files.
Okay.
So you can see the NP was renamed to...
Yeah, I thought that is what is the implementable stage of the NPAP, according to your
me
docs.
too, but then I
not sure.
realized that actually there is an API version, so we can discuss the fields, and how to do that, and then the implementable stage will be just basically applying what we agreed to the actual repository, so to the actual API files. And I guess that makes sense. I think that's how it was supposed to work. So I added it there. But again, I mean, we can... It doesn't have to be exactly like this in the final API change, because it's going to be a separate PR, as I said. So we can still potentially add more changes later. But yeah.
Yeah, I think if it helps with the reviews, if the use cases are already there, and if it helps with faster iteration, why not have the types also populated here, right? And we can review that in one go. So yeah, a call out to everyone here if you are interested in reviewing this NPAP, which is really, really important, and it's got a lot of good things coming. Please do. Any questions for Nadia? Okay, if not, Mike, you have the floor.
Thanks. Yeah, just wanted to bring this to y'all's attention. We've had prior discussions on identity-based auth-Z, and wanted to let you know that we're finally starting to work on this on an experimental API over in Gateway API. So just want to drop a link here, and yeah, would love eyes and feedback from anyone who has an interest in this.
Oh, cool. Thank you for letting us know. That is interesting.
Yeah, thanks more, Mike, for bringing this
Sure.
to here. I wasn't actually aware that there was a PR on the GIP site, because I remember seeing the Google Doc, of course, that Lior had shared based on what we spoke in London. I'm assuming that this is coming out of that doc.
Yes, yeah.
But
With the doc was Leo's initial like collection of thoughts and draft. So yeah, we're moving on to an actual like PR stage. It was selected as one of the things we want to focus on as a priority for this Gateway API release cycle.
cool. We will definitely review this, but my understanding was there was also the composability problem, which we thought we wanted to outline, but is that not something we're doing in this side? Or is that also part?
There's John Howard had opened one comment about like what's the overlap with NetPol. And I tried to summarize some of where we left the composability discussion. I'll drop the link to that comment specifically into the meeting notes, but I think that at this point we want to maybe leave that open, but not necessarily try to solve that yet.
Okay, because that is, I think, where it's interesting because it's cross-community effort where we would
Yes.
love to weigh in on that, but I also see some Cillian
Yeah.
YAMLs here on the upstream. Yep,
I
not
think
our
like
YAMLs, but yeah,
for
maybe they're
the initial
examples.
implementation, where we had left prior discussions was basically identity-based OSI policy is only evaluated like at all if the actual like IP connectivity is allowed.
Okay, yeah. Which makes sense because if it's not, then
There it is. There's my comment. So that's if you scroll right up, that's the thread about to what extent is there overlap with NetPol.
yeah, this is definitely interesting for us. So thanks for raising this. Looks like we need to take a deeper look at this gap. If anyone has the cycles to do crosswork with Gateway API, please review this. And thanks, Mike, once again for bringing this up. Any questions for Mike? Okay, if not, any other topics anyone else wants to bring up? Do we need to go through the beta dashboard now? I think more or less we know what we are tracking, right? And we have things.
Yeah, I
under
don't think,
control.
even if it's not up to date, not much changed.
Yeah.
So maybe when we have like when we merge maybe the API cut, could be a useful exercise and go and check what's left.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome, sounds good. So we will, anything else anyone else wants to bring up? Last go, if not, folks will get their 40 minutes back, which is awesome. Okay, going once, twice, and sold. Thanks everyone for joining. Have a good rest of your day and see you later in 2 weeks. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.